How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another Garage Talk with RONIN 47R, and it is an episode 4 that we're on here, episode 4, and we're opening up here on Arctic region, and I've got a little Russian tank destroyer there that's getting ready to rock and roll. But, gosh, where do I even begin? It's really fun to be able to just kind of chew the fat with you guys and just be completely random. I think I'm usually random, but it's kind of the opposite of a review where I'm really focused on talking about one specific thing for one purpose. Whereas the Garage Talk is, like I said, just the opposite. But I don't know what it is, but my green team sure likes shooting the back of my hiney there, and I guess he's really happy to know where the trigger button is. But anyways, getting back to chatting with you, so many different things that come to mind that I want to run by you, and one of the things I was thinking about is I just wish if there was a way to get more feedback from you guys. In other words, I wish we can have a 100-person platoon. Well, I mean, that's silly, but you know what I mean. I love hearing from you guys, and I just like getting the input. And I just wish there was a way. Well, there is a way. There's a way of you just posting and stuff. But, everyone's busy, and maybe they're just not into it. And I get that, and I respect that. I'm just telling you my wish list, No judgment, just a wish list. And that is, I just wish I could ask you guys some questions and have you guys give me some feedback. And, we're nearing, 600 folks on our subscription. That's combining words here. On our subscriber list, So there's, almost 600 people subscribing. And you never get 100% turnout in anything, right? I mean, think about voting and whatnot. But it would sure be nice if I can get a lot more people to interact with me and answer some questions, because, gosh, I don't want to please 3 people or 20 people or 50 people. I would. My goal is always to please. Sounds kind of corny, but anyways, bear with me. So, I'd like to make everybody happy, if it's possible. And I know it's not, but I'm just, the more people I can make happy, the happier I am, because that's what I'm doing, as I'm making these video guys. I'm making these videos for you guys. And, I mean, I get a kick out of it, of course, but it's just a lot of fun. It's like when you cook, have you ever cooked anything for somebody and then they're like, man, this tastes so good, and you feel good. You get a little warm and fuzzy. You're like, oh, they liked what I cooked for them. That's so nice. Well, when I make these videos, it's just cool when you guys, appreciate them, and it just, makes me feel good to make you guys feel good. God, that sounds really corny. Well, don't tell anybody I'm saying all this stuff, because then they're going to think I'm all emotional and sappy and sensitive, and we don't want any of that, right? But, I was just wondering, when it comes to these videos, sometimes it's the nature of the game, nature of how many games, what I'm trying to do. I may put out a video that's 6 minutes long, like an after action report or something that's 6 minutes long. Maybe I'll put out an after action report that's 20 minutes long. Garage talks, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. I'm not really shooting for a particular time. It just kind of happens the way it happens based on the footage that I have, and I just package it up and it becomes what it is. Reviews, they're another animal all into themselves, where I kind of break it down to the education factor. Let's talk about this thing. Let's examine it. Let's kick the tires, figure this thing out, and then let's take it for a test drive. The time in which, the length of video, that varies as well. It kind of seems to have gotten longer and longer as the more videos I do. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that seems to be my trend. Now that I've talked your ear off, and you've probably muted me, my question is, when it comes to, I don't know, a review, let's just start with that. What is the optimal length of the video? And I know everyone's going to have an opinion. Some people are going to say go as long as you want, and some people are going to say it's too long, shorten it. I've seen that sort of thing, but I would love to have you guys tell me that again, have more people tell me. And more importantly, tell me why, because it's not about you justifying it and trying to convince me. That's not why I'm saying, well, tell me why. It's because if you can tell me why, I can learn from that and maybe connect the dots on my own and say, oh, okay, yeah, I can satisfy what you're looking for in a different way. You know what I mean? And can kind of combine some ideas, so spend longer on one thing, shorter on another, etc., etc. But I was, I just was really scratching my head about this the other day, and just wondering, basically, you know, what the appropriate length is. Well, I shouldn't say appropriate. It sounds so judgmental, but you know, just curious what your 2 cents was on the length of a video. I've seen some folks, and I'm not talking about subscriber parties or special event situations, but I mean, you know, I see a lot of folks out there, and they'll put out on a regular basis 45-minute, hour videos, and then I see the opposite where it's, you know, 10 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes, and you know, I'm sure everybody has an opinion, like I said, but you guys can let me know. I can start to kind of whittle it down or attempt to shape it in a way that, you know, makes you guys a little more happy, and, you know, it's a win-win for everybody. So enough of that. All right, well, on a new subject, I'm really looking forward to an update coming out. We talked about it before, the 1.1.0. I don't know for sure when it's coming out. And of course, the usual disclaimer, you're getting tired of hearing it. You know, even if I did, I don't know if I'm allowed to even say those things, but I really don't know. Sometimes, even if I do know the answer, sometimes they change it on us, and sometimes they'll give us a heads up notice like moments before it happens. So it's still, you know, iffy on the win, on schedules and stuff. There are so many things that goes into the development of these things, because there's so many different parties. You know, if you got World of Tanks, they're working on you know, Wargaming is working on its side. Then you've got the collaboration, because it has to fit, you know, with Microsoft, specifically the Xbox Live aspect of it. And so there's so many different. There's more to it than that even, but you know, those are the two big puzzle pieces. And everything has to work collaboratively, so for it to be successful. So, you know, one person drops the ball. Well, I shouldn't say drop the ball, but, you know, things happen when it comes to development. Some boo-boo happens, a snag, some fail, whatever, you know, glitch that they find out. They're like, oh my gosh, I need to fix this. It can throw a wrench in the schedule. So, but I am looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to the rooms. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just hope that they continue to change it in ways that, you know, we spoke about before, where it's like one person, you know, exploring a map, or even two, and you know, that would be great. And then the other thing too, granted, my garage talks I've been, you know, slowly eking out, and the answers are there. But like I said before, I promised you that I would continue to let you know, because not everybody receives the message, not everybody catches the message, and not everybody sees every single one of my videos, because, you know, time is not on our sides, and I get that. I mean, it'd be cool if you guys lived and breathed and died by my every video. You know, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be cool. That'd be weird. But, you know, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. But I understand things happen. I mean, gosh, I'm balancing real life. I didn't even know I was going to be able to record today, to be honest. But something came up, and my schedule changed, and so I jumped on it, because you just never know. But, you know, the thing is when it comes to platooning, you know, a lot of folks continually ask about platooning and friendless. You know, can we be friends? And of course we can be friends. We can all, you know, hug and high five and chest bump. But when it comes to the friend list, you know, just a reminder, because you guys need to know this. And like I said, you're not going to catch every video, but you know, when it comes to the friend list, you're limited to 100. You're more than welcome to try to send me a friend request, and if it works out, I'll accept it. And if it doesn't, don't take it personal, because I'm limited to, you know, the space, and that's pretty much the short answer. And as far as platooning is concerned, the big thing is just make sure that you listen to the Twitter, you know, app. You know, because what I'll do is I'll tweet out you know, hey, I have an opportunity to platoon, you know, or something to that effect. And, you know, when you hear that, when you see that, or if you see me pop on, whatever, you know, I don't care. You're more than welcome to send me a message on Xbox Live. But, you know, when you see me or you don't see me, but if you get that message on Twitter about me, you know, platooning, that's your opportunity to know that I'm not specifically working on a project. I'm actually, you know, yes, I am looking to platoon, and, you know, send me a message at that point. So even if you're not on my friend list, you just get on Xbox Live, you type in the name, my name, you know, RONIN 47R, and you send the message, hey, you know, I want to platoon if you got room, or whatever the secret password is, and you know, we'll do it. Not a big deal. It's all good to me. It's kind of fun, because some of my friends that I have on the friend list, you know, yeah, of course, you know, we run in the circles where whether it's, I don't know, the continent, job availability, whatever, but they just happen to be on often when I'm on, and that's just, that's how you make friends or whatever, keep up with your friends. But when it comes to other folks, this is the really fun part for me, is I love it when I see subscribers, let's say they post, maybe I don't even know these guys other than something they've written, something on the forum. I've never even talked to these guys. And, they, luckily, I see them out there because they're either A, on my friend list, or B, they saw me or saw me use Twitter to say that I wanted a platoon, and they'll send me a message, I'm ready, and then I'm like, cool. So then I pull them in, and I've met several of you for the first time, that way. And it's just really fun because it's just, so cool, whether you're all the way in Europe, on the East Coast, or you're next door to me on the West Coast, whatever. It's just really cool to finally put a voice to the name, and a play style and the camaraderie of, shooting and blowing things up together, when I previously have only seen or known you through what you have written. So pretty cool, Anyways, that's just me randomly chatting about that. The other thing I was thinking about too was, I don't even know why this is so random, but, I'm always chatting about, and I'm hearing my friends chat about it too. They're, working on this tank, working on that tank, and I'm not this kind of tank, driver. This one's hard. I'm more of a, I'm more of a heavy. I'm more of an artillery. I'm more of a scout, whatever. And it's just interesting because I was really thinking about this, and I'm sure you guys are just like me. But I didn't really consciously think about it until recently, because you get in these ruts. Well, that sounds negative. You get in these modes where you're grinding a certain thing, or the the flavor of the week is the new Russian mediums. Whatever. There's an operation that you're working on. It's the British. Whatever the case may be. And so we're stuck on this one little area, and we're working on it. And sometimes it really meshes with us, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we struggle. And I was just thinking about this. I really started off, it kind of took me down memory lane, because I really started off with the American. I mean, I dabbled in different tanks, but the one that I really invested time in was the American Nation, number one. And number two, I just couldn't wait to get my first heavy tank. Getting that, that T1 heavy. Oh my God, I have a heavy tank. It's awesome. You're all excited. It's tier 5, and you're, I'm a big boy now. And then the secondary thing. Well, actually, I don't know which one was first, but the first two things, the only two things that I really focused on was the heavy tank, and then of course the tank destroyer. And then you had to make the choice, for the American line at least. You had back then, you had to make the choice. Okay, do I go turreted? Do I go non-turret? Which way do I go? And I don't know. Again, I believe every tank class has super awesome skills that go with it. Some of which I possess. Well, I shouldn't say I possess because I said super, but some of which I have a direction that I lean towards, that like, yeah, this makes sense. I'm kind of naturally adept to this style. And then there are some tank classes that I'm like, wow, I so do not have the skill for this, and I would really, really, really have to focus, But anyways, the tank, a destroyer, little secret, or maybe not a secret, is, man, I really, really enjoy tank destroyers. I don't know. I don't know why, but maybe it's just because of the it's not so fast pace where you're just twitch skills. Not that it's good or bad. I'm just saying that it's it's not twitch skills like, say I'm a light tanker. Not a bad thing. But I'm just saying, like with a light tank, you really have to react and do your thing, and you're here, you're there, you're popping in and out, and you're quick, and you're spinning around, and it's just, it's TIE fighter time for, to me it is. The opposite of that, well, I guess the complete opposite would be the artillery. But as far as tank destroyers are concerned, you're so far back, theoretically, in an ideal situation, open field, you're so far back. If you're going to change position, if you're going to change targets from one target, to your left and one target to your right, And because you're so far back, the perspective is such that you're barely moving your barrel, you know? And it's slower. It feels like the whole match moves slower so that it's easier to digest the information coming in. It's easier to therefore respond to it. The closer you are to the action, you know, I'll use the gun arc example that I just used for the tank destroyer. The opposite, you know, you're sitting there, and if you're brawling with someone and you're, you know, running into each other and you are right next to each other, you know, you swing, the person drives by a few meters. You really have to swing your gun around, you know, and you're constantly driving. You got your turret, if it's turreted, you got your turret, you got your gun arc, you got your hull. And so you're looking all around, you're dancing all around and responding. And so it's a lot quicker. It's a lot more twitch skills. You know, and with the tank destroyer, it's just so cool for me, you know, what thrills me is you have this, it's just really cool for me, in a devious way where you just reach out and touch someone. And if you're doing it right, they're like, you know what they're saying. They're like, damn it, I'm getting spotted and I don't know where it's coming from. And isn't that just the best part, you know? So, you know, tank destroying, so cool. And then usually they have some pretty sweet guns. And who doesn't like big guns that go bang and hurt a lot when shot at someone else, not you? And so tank destroyers, I mean, fun. I really like that. So, you know, anyway, so I was going down memory lane. I was thinking about that, and I'm so close to getting the, I've been grinding some silver. You know, I unlocked, and I don't even know if I've shared it with you. Because you know, it's hard to keep track of all the videos that I've recorded. I've got raw footage laying all over the place, and then the time comes into the actual editing. So here I have a bunch of footage. You know, I've got hours and hours of video for sure. But as far as videos ready to share with you, well, it has to be processed, which means editing. And anyway, so somewhere in between, I'm sure I've done it in front of you and talked about it if I was platooned with someone. But, you know, I've unlocked the tier 10. And, you know, tank destroyer, American, turreted, you know. And the thing is, it's 6,200,000 silver. And I think at the time that I unlocked it, I think I had maybe 100,000 silver, maybe 200,000 silver. And I refuse just because I'm ornery like that. I am not going to sell a tank. I know. You're surprised. I know. I'm not going to sell a tank. And then I'm even weirder than that. Ready for this? So every tank that I have the equipment fully purchased for every single tank that I have. And what I don't do is I just don't, I mean, if I was caught in a pinch, I mean, yes, okay, if I bought a premium tank or something crazy and I was super excited and I wanted to put some equipment on it right now, yes, I would go to a tank, I would sell the binoculars, take the 500,000 silver, and I would use it towards something new, yes. But then what I do, even though I only do that in emergencies, air quote emergencies, but what I do is I kind of give myself a loan because I'm so weird. I like to have all my equipment, everything set up in all my tanks so that, let's say someone says, take out the so-and-so tank, boom, done. I mean, I've got the vents, I've got the binoculars, I got the calonet, whatever the heck it is, done. It is ready. You put the key in, turn the ignition, we're ready to go. So if I do ever sell binoculars, camo net, something that's not going to cost me gold to sell, then I am going to, you know, I'm going to go ahead and as soon as possible, I'm grinding and I'm putting that money right back into that tank and rebuying the binoculars for the previous tank that I just borrowed them from, you know. That's just me. That's just my own weird little goal, procedure. I don't know. So anyways, moving on. So I have to grind this. I have to grind the silver for the tier 10, and I'm thinking, okay, what's one of my mantras, right? World of Tanks. I mean, anything in life, you know, the ideal is you don't do it if you don't like to do it. That's the ideal. Now I know, of course, there's lots of things that we do in life that we don't like to do, but we do them because we're big boys, and you know, we pull on our big pants and big boy pants, and we do what we need to do. You know, you suck it up and get it done. I get that. This is a game we're talking about here, you know. So it's World of Tanks, you know, and it's a game. And if I'm going to be grinding, you know, as we use that term so loosely, in this case for silver, pick a tank that might, for me, I am not going to sit there and pick a tank that has the highest, what is it called, modifier for silver, and grind it just because it has the highest modifier for silver. I mean, sure, I may, knock out a couple of games and get the, the ×2 and whatever. But am I going to sit there and, sit down for 2 hours? Let's just say I have that much time or something, right? Am I going to sit down for 2 hours and play this game that I'm just, this tank that I'm just, I kind of like it. And it's not that I even don't like it. If I'm just not in the mood for it, I am not going to grind it. And so I'm thinking, okay, let's have some fun while we're trying to get this 6 million silver, right? So what did I do? Well, I'll tell you what I did, but let me back it up. In the on the front screen, the front page, if you will, of our website there, the World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. On the right hand side, and there's about 5 postings, and it's the latest postings that have registered in the forum. There was this posting that said something about how does one E25, right? Perfectly legitimate question, because I don't ever put down people's questions, because I have questions too. I don't want to put someone down just because they don't know how to drive the tank or whatever. So anyways, perfectly legitimate question. And so folks who have experience with it have opinions, and they're sharing them, And so I'm interested in it. I'm reading it and stuff. And man, I'll tell you what, it's like walking by a bakery and you smell the, them talking about the E25, because I haven't played it for a while, is like walking by a bakery. Someone just, took something out of the oven. You have this fresh bread smell. And you're like, I wasn't hungry, but now I'm hungry, right? So I wasn't even thinking about the E25. Came across this posting, and I'm like, oh, man. Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to be grinding some silver in, right? So I put in my best German tank destroyer crew, which is just awesome. And I won't get into their perks and skills, but it's just so appropriate to a non-turreted tank destroyer. It's like whatever you think the dream team resume is for a tank destroyer crew, yeah, that's what I have on those guys, right? And it's just, it's like hot knife through butter as far as how to just run the E25 with that crew. So anyways, I dust this guy off. I have to kind of shake out the cobwebs here. I'm like, okay, it's an E25, so it's an E25. It's different anyway. It's a tank destroyer. You haven't been playing tank destroyers, so, let's get back in the zone here. It doesn't have a turret, blah, 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 right? Play to its strengths. So I start whipping this thing out, and as I've shared with you guys before, in my humble living situation where everything is so crowded, because my cardboard box is only so big, and the freeway that I live underneath is pretty loud. So anyways, and no, that was a joke, just in case you guys are starting to really be concerned. But it is really small, and it is really crowded, and I do have limited means, and blah 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 blah. So anyways, so in the place I live in, I don't have the opportunity to have the equipment set up so that I can record every single time that I play Xbox, right? So what I do is, if I know I'm going to have time, sure, I'll set it up. But if I don't know I'm going to have time, I'm just going to play a few games and whatever, right? And if I have a good game, then maybe I'll take a picture with my cell phone. Of course, whenever I don't record, I'm having these great games in the E25, and it just really brought me back to where, what is the one thing that I really love doing besides heavy tanks is I love reaching out from afar and just playing Ninja and doing the tank destroying. So my message to you guys is, and I'm just babbling, but my message to you guys, what is your one thing, one class, and then go even deeper? What is that one tank that you really like to play? Because I was reminded what mine was, and I'd love to hear about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I babbled on. I had a good time. I hope you did too. If you are receiving this transmission, you are one of the 47 Ronin, and I will catch you later.